This morning, Fran had a devotion, good devotion, about the exact same verse that I was going to share with you. So that means that this is really cool. So last night, I had a hard time sleeping, and that's been pretty common the last few weeks. So I have an app that's like a sound app to help me fall asleep, and it it has rain on it. So I put the app on like drizzle. It didn't help. Then I turned the phone up louder. It didn't help. So that was about 2 hours of that, and then I said, "Well, let me try something else." And so I picked a storm in Asia with thunder and lightning, and I turned it up really loud. I fell asleep. Now that fascinates me. That I needed a storm to fall asleep, both literally the sound, but probably in my life as well. Uh, so Jesus gets in a boat with his disciples, and he lays down, he falls asleep, and there's a great storm, and it doesn't wake him up. I think I understand that now. And and I think that being able, in fact, being unable to sleep without this storm is kind of interesting. But being able to sleep because of the storm is even more interesting. And in our life, there are times when things are calm, there are times when things are bubbling, and there are times when we would say, "Boy, that's a real storm. He's facing it, or she's facing it right now. Storms of life are raging, and Jesus is asleep. And the disciples are worried and anxious, and Jesus is asleep." And it actually bothers the disciples that Jesus can sleep. They don't think that's normal. Well, if you've been through enough storms, it is kind of normal. But more than that, if you're in control of the storms, well, then it makes perfect sense. But the problem in my life is I'm not in control of the storms. So if I look at my life as if I'm responsible for circumstances that are out of my control, I'm probably not going to sleep. But if I enter into the storm and say, "Jesus, he has this. He's got it, no matter what it turns out to be," well, then I can fall asleep. There's a great lesson in that. And so if you're listening today and you're going through a particularly difficult time in your life, I know it's a euphemism and it's easy for most people to say, but if you can trust Jesus with the outcome, I think it'll help you find some peace.